hello. Good morning. Oh, I'm trying to get the framing right in this new Rumble studio. Make this go away. All right. Hello. Good morning. I'm Manila Chan. That in the middle there be producer Robbie. Ted Rall was there. I'm not sure if he fell out the window. Maybe
He's not in Russia, so he's probably safe.
You are tuned into the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you too much information. But yeah, Ted was there a second ago. I pressed some buttons and now he's vanished.
He'll be back. He just had to get up, and he probably had to do another potty break. He
got a potty break.
Yeah, well, he went to a doctor yesterday and got some old people procedures done because he's old, and so he's also really vain about his appearance. On the program.
Oh, there he is.
He looked like he took an oatmeal bath, so that's probably what this is.
I
have to go put on my makeup. I gotta make sure I look beautiful for my crowd.
So vain. Yes, Carly Simon, right? There be Ted. We speculated that maybe you fell out the window, but
that can happen.
By
the way, Carly Simon just died, right?
No, she had her Parkinson's diagnosis.
Oh, that's what it is. She
which is prescient for the show.
Pre-death.
Oh no, you can have Parkinson's for a very long time.
Isn't that
what
Michael J. Fox?
Michael J. Fox, yeah, like 35 years or so he's had it.
Well, we're all pre-death.
Yeah, poor guy. Anyway, we do this thing here live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me check. I'm still learning the program. If there's,
I'm not an admin, right, Robbie?
You should be.
I think it only allows 2 or something. Anyway,
no, you can have as many as you want.
You can be a moderator.
Oh, hold on.
Really?
You can make me an admin. Yeah. Hold on.
No, moderator is different than admin.
That something. It improved a little bit, but
yeah. So
I didn't get I still don't have the access to the elements.
You probably need to close completely out of the room.
No.
Like leave it.
No. I think Rumble only allows 2 admins on at one time.
No, you can have up to 4.
Okay, it never shows up.
Anyway,
all right. Anyway,
so
we should.
All right, we should move on.
We should probably get the ads out of the way. I see one. We'll go
get the show on the road.
Get the show on the road. All right. So freedom and safety are often seen as going hand in hand with responsibility and proper preparation. Being a responsible owner involves a commitment to being well-trained, knowledgeable, and equipped with reliable safety gear. Protecting a household requires more than just equipment. It requires a focus on safety protocols, secure storage, and a deep understanding of local regulations. Professional training is a cornerstone of safe ownership. I think you guys know what we're talking about here. Comprehensive resources.
Like ownership of, like my cat. I have to make sure
comprehensive resources and expert-led courses help individuals develop the necessary skills to handle equipment safely and effectively, whether the focus is on home defense, personal safety. Personalized education tailored to specific needs ensures that safety standards are met. Joining a community that values ongoing education and rigorous safety practices is a proactive step toward responsible citizenship. So you can click on that link there. And you can see more from I'm not sure, since we're broadcasting on several other platforms, this campaign here from a certain self-defense company.
It's already out there, so you may as well go and finish it.
No, I read the whole thing.
Yeah, but you need to approve it because the QR code's still up. You
complete.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, complete.
I just wanted to make sure that the advertiser, that which we can't say the full name on all, you can see, you guys can see that on the screen. So there you are. So with that, we will jump to the stuff we're supposed to talk about today. I heard the Jaws that time. All right.
I did not.
You did not? I did. So this one comes from my days of your 25 years ago. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. 25 years ago, I lived in this world. Okay. So the car alarm you never bought could actually let hackers disable your vehicle. Millions of American drivers may have a hidden security vulnerability installed in their cars, not by the manufacturer, but by the dealership. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego discovered serious flaws in the car security system. That's KARR, car security system. An aftermarket alarm estimated to have been installed in more than 2 million vehicles. Using a smartphone within Bluetooth range, researchers demonstrated that an attacker could unlock a car, disable its alarm, flash its lights, sound the horn, or prevent the engine from starting. So in other words, they can fuck with you. The especially troubling part is that many owners never purchased or even knew about the system. Dealers frequently install car alarms to protect vehicles while they're sitting on the lot. When the vehicle is sold, the hardware often remains wired into the car even when the buyer declines to pay for the upgraded alarm service. The supposedly deactivated device may still transmit and accept Bluetooth commands. Researchers found that the system relied on a single authentication key shared across the affected devices. So just one key can...
This is actually fascinating, I think.
This is crazy. Once that key was extracted from the car smartphone app, commands could be created that nearby systems would recognize as legitimate. The company behind CAR has released a firmware update and describes the real-world risk as low. Because of course they would, Ted. They're not going to be like, oh, shit, yeah, you guys are screwed.
Yeah, you're fucked. No, they're not going to.
You guys are screwed, man. But they say the risk is low. However, the patch arrived roughly 18 months after researchers first reported the vulnerability to them, and many affected drivers still have no idea that they need this patch. Drivers can look for the CAR, KARR, or SWDS sticker on the window. But I mean, come on, who keeps that window sticker? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not many people when you drive off. Like,
yeah,
you
literally remove that thing. Literally comes off within an hour after you buy the car.
Yeah, like nobody wants to keep that on there. Or if you notice a small blinking
unless you're
button,
like the mini Pearl, you're the mini Pearl of drivers. You like to keep the receipt on.
Well, you know those.
Look how much I spent.
I know the younger people wear the ball caps. They don't curl the bill anymore. They keep them flat, and then they keep like the sticker on it. I've seen some people as happy as leaving the tag.
Ball cap thing, or there's the opposite thing where people wear the ball cap where it's all worn out in the front, and it looks like like homelessy.
Well, they make it like that.
Why?
They make them like that now because it's like a hipster look.
You're saying it's like distressed, like pre-distressed jeans, like acid washed, like those. What?
Totally just like that. Yeah, like a beat up ball cap. You can buy it like that.
Though. That's so dumb.
But then in other communities, they wear the flat bill cap, fresh from the store, and you keep all the labels on them, which is weird. But so this is the car version of that. Otherwise, you may notice a small blinking little light beneath the dashboard. Like it'll be from what I've seen. Well,
I've seen that
25 years ago. This is 25 years ago. So 25 years ago, I remember the system having, it looked like the size of a pager.
I've seen that on rental cars.
So I don't know about now, but it says it's a small blinking light like at the lower end of the dashboard. Back in my day, I remember seeing something the size of a pager, and it's installed on the farthest left side of the driver at the very bottom of your, like where your legs would go. And you'd see a little pager size thing that would blink. That's what that service was. So I know about this because it existed. I didn't realize that now it's all like Bluetooth, because back then it was the little.
But look, this is look, it's super fascinating because this is a great. I mean, so what's the essence of the story, right? The essence of the story is you have a legacy technology. Like we always know, cars have stuff in them that are like spying on us. Like for example, if you have an accident, your car does essentially have the equivalent of a black box in it, and it will, and and like if there's a dispute, like a lawsuit, it can be retrieved to find out really what direction the steering wheel was pointing, how fast you were going, and so on. And that data is basically like a flight data recorder. It's like a trip data recorder. Most Americans know that now, right? Although they're not driving like that, they're not conscious of that, but that information's in your car. But this is something that's like a security vulnerability that you're not even aware of, right? Like if you get like a self-driving car, we know that those can be hacked and by
today all the cars are computers on wheels. This is supposed to be a security alarm for the dealership that you can pay for as an upgrade as a regular car alarm,
which most people who are, I hate to say it, most people don't use car alarms because they're not evil. Car alarms are for bad people. Because like here's the thing.
90s.
If you live in a neighborhood where your car is prone to being broken into,
San Francisco,
for example, ain't no one on the street going to interfere with that person stealing your car. Ain't no one. I mean, in New York City back in the 90s, I used to see people break into cars, the alarm would go off. I'm like, I'm not interfering with that guy. It's like if I saw someone, I'm the same person. If I saw someone attacking a person, I'd interfere. But I'm not going to interfere to save someone's car. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's their car.
I saw the car alarm. I saw a like in action car, not a carjacking, but car break-in when we were in San Francisco 2 years ago at the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, there's a park that kind of overlooks it, so you can get pictures and whatever.
Yeah.
And so you park there. Yeah. And so we're parked there, and there's signs everywhere that says, don't leave, whatever, your valuables in plain sight, blah, blah, blah. This is a heavy car break-in zone, right? I'm at a
the whole
national
city. That's
park.
The entire city of San Francisco.
That's the whole city. So I'm literally parked, I don't know, 6-8 cars away from, like, I hear smash alarms. It's broad daylight. It's like 2 in the afternoon. They're breaking into tourist cars. The tourists that walked away from the car, and the alarm's going. Rah, rah, rah. It's, I don't know, probably a rental. I don't know. Alarm's going off. Nobody even flinches. Nobody cares. And I'm going, wow, they really do break into cars here like it's nobody's business. But anyway, this is even scarier though, because like this means the hackers can take their cell phone, download this app, get the patch, whatever, and then go around to a whole neighborhood hitting the app, and it could theoretically just quietly, silently unlock your car, unbeknownst to you. You're asleep. If your car has this, they can just burp, 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 unlock everyone's car on the block. I mean, theoretically, that's what can happen. And the car people were like, it's a low risk. Nobody's doing this. I know we have our system in millions of cars across California and other states too, but mostly in California. They're like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Hackers aren't doing that. Hello? Hacker, like these are computers on wheels. And like we've seen so many, I think with, was it Kia or Hyundai like a year ago, that hackers were I don't know what they did with the Bluetooth, but they were able to manipulate the remote start on people's cars by copying your key, because most people, they come up to your house, they come up to your front door, right? They can basically scan your keys because your keys are most likely hanging near your front door, right? So they scan your keys. They basically copy the RFID on your remote start car, which is like a Hyundai or Kia or whatever, and then they'd go to your Hyundai and Kia, hit it on their phone, and they unlock your car and start it and drive away because they've made a digital copy
That's
of your key.
so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not quite as bad. It says you can remote stop your car. It doesn't say that you can remote start it. So I'm not sure. The article didn't go into these specifics, but it did say the scary thing is that it's in your car and most people don't know when they buy these new cars off of the car
probably
lot.
nothing will happen because, look, 2 million cars is not really a lot of cars, right?
No,
How many
there's
cars
probably
are in
more.
the United States? There's got to be like 100 million cars in this country or more.
More.
So
I'm sure there's more, but the point here is like the consumer interest is like most dealerships aren't telling you that this thing is in there to begin
No.
with.
right.
They just ask you when
That's
you're in
true.
finance, and I was that person, like, hey, Ted, so you want to pay $795 for this car alarm system? It's already installed in your car. There's no muss, no fuss. Just drive off. It's in there. $800.
And
You want
everyone
it?
just
No.
and everyone just says no.
No. So
That's
you're
all
like,
they have.
check the box. No. So we don't start the alarm on our end, but it's still in
Yeah.
your car. Nobody mentions to the buyer that this extra vulnerability is there. So, this is why I keep saying over and over, oh my God, like I miss my old Volkswagen that's like this little clunker, like all it had was power windows, air conditioning, and I think that was it. I think that's all it had. But it was a dumb car, and it was zippy, and it was great on gas, and that was it. That's it. Nobody was going to remote. I had no worry about somebody remote stealing it.
Nope.
Nobody trying to break into a clunky old Volkswagen. I loved it. Favorite car.
All right. Manila, let's go. Next topic.
No. You guys look at not under the hood. Just look at your car and make sure you guys are not one of these people that are going to get scammed by hacker thieves.
Okay, scientists have developed an experimental drug combination that deliberately reduces oxygen delivery to the brain and counterintuitively, as a result, appears to slow or even possibly reverse symptoms of several neurodegenerative diseases in mice. Researchers tested the treatment in mouse models of Parkinson's disease, Friedreich's ataxia, and Leigh syndrome. Parkinson's mice showed improved balance and coordination, while the treatment halted further declines in strength and movement.
I think it's Lee,
Pardon?
Lee syndrome, I think.
Oh, okay. I
Like
thought
you
it was
say
like
Raleigh.
Vivian Leigh. I thought it was like Vivian Leigh.
I thought she was Vivian Lee.
I thought she was Leigh.
Like Raleigh, like Raleigh, North Carolina. The Leigh.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's how Raleigh is sort of spelled. Okay.
Rall.
Right. I don't care, whatever. So in the Lee or Leigh, as the case may be, syndrome model, median survival increased dramatically from about 62 to 158 days, even when treatment began after advanced symptoms began to appear. The so-called hypoxia in a pill, I guess they could use this for the death penalty in the South, is actually a two-drug combination. GBT601 makes hemoglobin hold oxygen more tightly, reducing how much reaches body tissues. PT2399 blocks HIF2 alpha, obviously the old HIF2 alpha, a protein that would otherwise respond by producing excessive red blood cells, which is a potentially dangerous complication. The reason that less oxygen might help the brain is that damaged mitochondria, the cellular machinery that converts oxygen into energy, may stop using oxygen efficiently. That can leave exogenous oxygen floating around brain tissue, where it triggers oxidation. Basically, literally, your brain is rusting, and further cellular damage. Earlier research found that Parkinson's mice breathing air contained just 11% oxygen, experienced less neuron loss, and improved movement. However, there's a big catch. The new study is a preprint, hasn't not yet been peer reviewed, and involved only mousies. Mice also adjust their metabolism under low oxygen conditions more readily than humans do. And deliberately inducing hypoxia is, of course, dangerous. So don't move to the mountains or start holding your breath. Still, research matters because it challenges one of medicine's safest assumptions that more oxygen is better. Sometimes oxygen might not be better, or lack of it might help.
Isn't that wild?
It is wild. I mean, these days they're doing so much research. You know, it's because the boomers all be getting old.
Well,
there's so much research now on dementia.
That's true. And like basically a lot of research on old people diseases. And like to the topic of like more oxygen in your bloodstream is supposed to be better. I mean, remember we talked about like breathing through your butthole? Remember that story we covered?
Ass breathing. Right.
Ass breathing. That they're literally studying that. If you guys missed this is an episode from like last year that there's a whole research.
That's a TMI classic, actually.
It is a TMI classic that guaranteed nobody on the interwebs at all, podcast, TV show, whatever. No one talked about that. I promise you, TMI is the only one that covered it. But
and look, it could save your life. If Mary Jo Kopechne could breathe through her ass, she'd be alive today.
Oh, well, is that the one that Kennedy?
No. Well, she was underwater. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. If she could breathe through her butthole, maybe. But this is a real thing. You guys think I'm being sarcastic and snarky? You're right, but it is a real story that we covered, and it's really a scientific thing that you guys can look up for yourselves. Mm-hmm. But this makes me think of I don't know if you had them in New York City, Ted, but in the I would say mid 2000s, across Southern California, there were these oxygen bars that were popping up.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Did you guys have them? We had them in LA and in Orange County.
Yes, my weird ex-wife took me to one once.
I had to try it.
And I was like, of all the stupid ideas you've ever had, which are numerous, this is one of the dumbest. Talk about
fucking a grifter business, right? So, but it's basically like you sit at a bar, and underneath, like on the bartender side, would be like a oxygen canister.
The air tender, yeah.
It's the air tender, the oxygen canister, like old people wheeling around their oxygen tanks. So it's that on the other side. And they give you a brand new, like nose thing that you would get like if you were in the hospital, right? Like for the oxygen, they plug you up and they're like, oh, what scent would you like today? Would you like lemon or mango or green tea, infused tea, tea tree oil, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they charge you per, I don't remember how many, like how much
but oxygen it was a lot.
Usage.
It was definitely going to be like 40, 50, 60 bucks.
Yes. To sit there for 30 minutes.
For oxygen.
For oxygen. And then, but they're
By
like,
the way, the thing, I got to tell you.
It'll help you think better.
I feel like the oxygen wasn't even very potent. So when I was in physics class, we had to take a lot of science classes, spend a lot of time in the chemistry lab too. I was a physics major. And so we had, there was an oxygen pump for the lab. And the word quickly got out that there is no quicker cure for a hangover. So you come in and you just huff some O2 and you're like right as rain.
Wow. That's brilliant.
Immediately. Yeah. Like you're just like, poof. What would normally take hours happens in minutes. My brother-in-law,
elite athletes use this on the sidelines.
He was an ambulance driver, and they would do it. They would huff oxygen, or they would,
because
or a little
you
bit
get
of
more energy,
or a saline drip, just like.
Well, those are the thing right now. It's similar to the oxygen bar of the 2000s. They're popping up all over the Washington D.C. metro, and it came from L.A. People are doing these hydration bars. The wellness hydration bar, and you get a fucking saline drip. Like that's all it is. And then you can kind of sit there and like, I don't know, get your foot massaged or whatever as you're getting a saline drip or something. That's the new oxygen bar here. But it's strange to me if you juxtapose the two. So for young people, or not someone suffering from Parkinson's, mostly that's true. More oxygen is better. It oxygenates your muscles, your brain capacity is better. You feel more energized. Elite athletes huff oxygen, like it's not illegal. Like the IOC doesn't say you can't use this at the Olympics. People are like, like huffing in pure oxygen, pure O2. Sure. But then with the old folks, and I say primarily it's old folks, right? Unless you're Michael J. Fox. Primarily it's old folks that have Parkinson's. And like, how I feel like if you're taking a pill that can shrink oxygen levels in your brain, that is a fine line that if you're overprescribed or whatever, or taking this wrong, who's to say you're not like really opening the door toward brain death? Like you're about to kill yourself. How can this?
You're not supposed to do this yourself. The article itself said not to do this yourself.
Well, it's only in mice, right? And JDC says that's an important distinction, that this is only in mice. So it's not like it's headed towards clinical trial or anything yet, but it's interesting because oxygen, as you know, is oxidative.
It's very, very early, and it's interesting, but that's about it. Yeah.
Like oxygen
is not unlike ass breathing, which everyone should be doing every day. This is not news you can use.
No. How do you practice ass breathing though? But like,
you have to focus. Be at one with your tuchus. Think about your sphincter.
I mean, we learned about it to talk about it on the show last year, and
the rectum.
I can't. I could not figure out how they.
The mind rectum link.
And comments here, JDC, our resident scientist, says, boomers are desperately trying to save themselves. Meanwhile, most millennials and younger are just waiting for them to go. Ha ha.
Yeah, well, it's a race of death chicken. All right, we should keep going. We're actually proceeding at a reasonable pace today.
Oh, yeah.
As an experiment, I want to see if we can actually do this. Instead of having to race through the last two stories in the last few minutes. Yeah.
I can sabotage this if you want. I can just throw something in.
No.
And Well-Dressed Nerd says, can you guys have on Michael Yon? I don't know Michael Yon.
Who's that? Who's a Michael Yon?
He's got the fire tinfoil hat conspiracy insight on the war, but it makes way more sense than one would think or be told to think. I have to look up Michael Yon. Y-O-N?
Yeah, Michael look him up. Let's look him up later.
I don't know him, but we're open to suggestions, of course. So, I'll look into him.
Yeah, if anyone has contact digits for him, let us know. Ooh, I heard that. That was awesome.
Yeah, if you guys do have contacts to or connections to whoever that would make for an interesting guest and you'd like to see them on here, shoot them over to us. Let us know. All right. So the Trump administration has just imposed new limitations on how long foreign students may remain in the U.S. We've talked about this before when Trump was floating the idea around. So F1 students will now be admitted for the length of their academic program, up to 4 years max. Like they're maxed out at 4 years, and must apply then to the federal government if they want to stay additional time. Their post-grad departure window will shrink from 60 days to 30 days. So as soon as you get that diploma, Trump is like, out. The administration says students should finish their education and return home. Universities responded with warnings about lost talent, weakened research, and declining American competitiveness. Those concerns are legitimate, but notice what colleges quantify most enthusiastically: the money. American institutions hosted nearly 1.18 million international students During the 24-25 academic year, they contributed an estimated $42.9 billion to the economy and
Yeah,
supported
mostly the economies of those colleges and universities.
more than 355,000 jobs. Most international undergrads and a majority of grad students finance their education primarily through personal or family funds,
Yeah, they don't get financial aid.
often paying full tuition with little institutional aid. So these are obviously kids from wealthy families in foreign countries.
Yeah.
In other words, foreign students are not merely scholars, they are premium customers. Nonprofit is a tax classification, not necessarily a governing philosophy for these universities. The effect on American applicants is complicated. At many public universities, higher international tuition can finance additional seats for domestic students. One study estimated that 10 additional foreign grad students produced roughly 8 additional domestic enrollments. But other research found crowding out effects in highly selective grad programs where the number of seats is genuinely limited. Then there is the global brain drain. About 68% of foreign science and engineering doctorate recipients were still living in the U.S. roughly a decade after they graduated.
Yeah, they never go home. They leave.
Their
stay.
home countries often funded years of earlier education only to watch the United States keep the finished product. Colleges call this international exchange. Increasingly, it looks like a business model with diplomatic consequences. So, do you, Ted Rall, a devout communist, leftist, you agree with President Trump on this?
Yeah, with one little niggle. And
Caveat.
it's very minor. I think basically, leave the existing 60 days for them to go home. When you graduate, it takes more than 30 days to pack up all your shit and give notice to your landlord and everything that you're leaving.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have a car you need to sell, I'd give people, 30 days is just not, it's not a long time. 60 days, 30 more days ain't going to make any more difference. What we're trying to abolish here is those 10 and 20 years. Look, I think this is great. Look, colleges and universities would definitely, if this goes through, they're going to suffer the pinch because it's really true. By the way, it's not just colleges and universities. It's also like fancy prep schools and fancy private schools on the K through 12 level have tons of foreigners who, again, pay top dollar, no scholarship.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah. My son went to a private school for the first few years. When you guys
were in the Hamptons, probably.
Yeah. And he was he went to a fancy school out there, and he was like partial scholarship because his father was a loser cartoonist, and but there were rich kids there who were paying full freight.
Like foreign rich kids.
Foreign rich kids from they even had a house for them. A lot of them were from China. And they had a special, so they were not only the school was making bank because they were charging them to live there too. And their parents weren't there. You're like, wait, what? Like
little kids and their parents?
Little kids. Yeah. Obviously they were like, it was a job. It was like certain teachers lived on premises with them. It's like a boarding school. They were basically they were in the boarding school component of the school. So, yeah.
And obviously they're paying a pretty penny to attend. So, yeah, well,
this has implications really from K all the way through 12, all the way. And it's not just undergrad, it's also graduate and doctoral. So this is this is a lot of people who come from all over the world and pay full freight for the, prestige of being in an American school.
Yeah, but does anybody still even want to come? Harvard has fallen to number 7 on the international scale. I think 5 of those top 7 were Chinese universities ranking as
I think a lot of Chinese people are going to start being never mind, America's xenophobic policies aside, honestly, everything's fine here. There's no reason to leave, right? Like, I mean, China is a rapidly growing, expanding economy. Lots of economic opportunities there that didn't used to be there. So I don't think the Chinese will be suffering brain drain regardless anymore. But look, there is competition for these seats. I'm going to echo what I always say about H-1B visas. As long as the unemployment rate is not is higher than 0.0%, we should never have issue a single H-1B visa. And similarly, as long as there is a single American son or daughter who is unable to gain access to the school of their choice, in favor, there should be absolutely no foreigners admitted to American schools. And I mean, so certainly, if they want to come here right now, it's the grift is on for these colleges and universities. They can admit them, but they shouldn't stay. And they do. Look, it's automatic. When I was in college, every foreign student I knew, especially in engineering school, they all knew, oh, I'm going to stay here. I'd be like, oh, so, you graduate in 1985, you'll be gone. Oh, no. I mean,
like,
the plan is I'll be recruited. I'll get a job at like GE or whatever. And it's like, and it's like, fuck that. It's disgusting. Again, so then American kids have to compete with these foreigners for American jobs. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, isn't it?
And it doesn't roll the other way around, by the way. It's not like it's not like Americans can go study.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
In Germany and then be recruited by German companies and stay. Like, that's all. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah, my old journalism professor, who I stay in touch with, who I've become good friends with, obviously all these years later, his own daughter, who I knew her as like a little, a little girl. She did a graduate program. A little girl. I mean, she's a grown woman now. But she went to grad school for a few years in China, learned Mandarin and everything. But as soon as her program was done, it was like, out of there, kid. Like, they didn't let her stay.
It's like Apu in The Simpsons. Thank you for coming, and please get out and please come again.
Yes. Like, you're welcome to come back, but you can't stay right now. So they kicked her right out. I mean, and it's great that she came back to the U.S. with, speaking fluent Mandarin and like awesome. But then she did another program in Italy, and the same thing. After 2 years, they booted her out.
Yep.
Like,
good. Fucking good.
So Italy and China both booted out an American, graduate student twice.
Great.
They don't let the kids stay.
Good.
But
they don't need to stay.
Country, we're the one country that seems to allow that to happen. But what about for undergraduate studies? A lot of universities that are supposed to be highly selective, if these international students, their parents can pay not only the out-of-state, out-of-country fee, their parents are paying in cash money.
Yep.
They're pushing out poor students like you, poor students like me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're competing to get into, like J school, like, for example, me, like Annenberg School of Journalism, I don't have the money to pay up front.
Well, there's no scholarships, basically, for journalism school, right? Which is one of the reasons why journalism school should not be a consideration for hiring by, one of the big problems that journalistic institutions have in the United States is they have a class issue, right? They don't have,
they do.
They don't have enough people at the New York Times newsroom who grew up
like us,
that grew up like the three of us, right? Like, so they don't, so of course they have no fucking connection to the way 95% of Americans live. So it's
right. The J schools are all, and I don't mean the other J. Don't you guys put words in my mouth. I mean journalism school, but it's called J school. But all of these kids are like wealth. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care if you're American. The one thing I saw in common with all of them was, in today's day and age anyway, is that they're all like Nepo rich babies.
Yep.
They're like none of them come from working class families. They're all rich kids, and the international kids, their parents are paying up front cash money. So I'm sure, Ted, that influences whether or not a rich American kid gets in or the rich, or no, not rich, but
I can absolutely
middle
assure
class.
you having worked in admissions, I assure you that it comes into play. I mean, it's funny because you don't really talk, like in the admissions department, you don't really talk about it. You don't really say like, oh, like, look, this famous person's kid is applying, but like, it's not just it would be cool to have this famous person's daughter attend. You
Yeah.
also know that they're not going to get financial aid, right?
Yeah.
So
You know that their parents are rich and that they're going to pay cash money right up front. And maybe their parents will donate a new library or
I mean,
whatever.
it's not like, I'm not going to say like, it's not going to put like a D student get them into Harvard. Okay. But it will, if you're, if it's kind of like someone's like, sort of like it could go either way. Yeah. It'll make the difference.
Like you're decently smart, sure. Like if you check all those boxes, the thing that can push you over the edge is that student A might need financial aid and student B has rich parents.
Yeah.
And maybe you're a rich, your rich parents are, I don't know, in Switzerland. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get that seat because your rich parents are paying right up front, full bore right up front, and the university will select that kid. So
that's right. That's exactly how it is.
That's how it works. That's how it works. I hate the university system here because it is another. This is one of those things where it shouldn't be a capitalist model. It shouldn't. Like this is for the greater good, and we look for ways to capitalize on other people's brains that are not our own children of this country. Mr. Lee says. The U.S. bribes the top performing foreign students to stay. That's why the U.S. allows so many foreign students to drain the brains of other countries. True. And our resident scientist says Ivy League has rested on its laurels for the most part. Meanwhile, schools like UNC Chapel Hill, Vanderbilt, University of Michigan, etc., are kicking ass wholesale, but don't have the old money. I could see that. I could see that happening a lot. Yeah, it's just brand name recognition, and rich people will pay for the brand name, obviously, especially rich international students.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's right. Yeah. All right. Look at us keeping time.
I know. It's great. Researchers studying marmots in Colorado are compensating for the loss of federal funds by showing off the animals on OnlyFans. Daniel Blumstein.
Everybody's got an OnlyFans, Ted. OnlyFans.
I know. Daniel Blumstein, professor at the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology at UCLA, is the head of a Colorado marmot research program. I didn't know that the United States had marmots, actually, that has been running since 1962, but is now in danger due to the loss of research grants that were canceled last year by Trump. Blumstein and his team at Rocky Mountain Biological University Laboratory created an OnlyFans page called Only Marms, where fans can see daily photos and videos of wild marmots and leave, as opposed to pet marmots, and leave tips to help support the ongoing research. It's going to be G-rated, and we're not going to sexualize this, Blumstein told the New York Times. No, you should sexualize it. Like, why not?
No. How? What? No. Like,
marmot fucking.
Molest the marmots for OnlyFans?
No. Let the marmots fuck each other. Anyway.
Well, mating. It's called mating, Ted. Come on.
Well, no, they're making sweet, passionate love.
The
page,
love?
which promises unfiltered yellow-bellied marmot content from the Rockies, was created and maintained by first-year master's student Emily Renke. She's been with the program for the last 4 years. Sometimes I'm just posting the videos I think will get the most as Renke said, but my favorite is when I find footage of a particular behavior and I can use that to educate people. She defended the decision to use unconventional means to raise research funds. I don't know if I agree with the idea that scientists shouldn't have to be opportunistic and creative. I think that's a lot of what science and research is, she said. It can be intimidating to engage with the public like this, But why are we doing this work if not to help forward humanity with it? The Marmot program's other fundraisers include the early July launch of Marmot Tears IPA, a beer brewed by Irwin Brewing Company in Crested Butte, I guess it is,
Butte?
and an upcoming Fat Marmot Week event in August inspired by Katmai National Park's Fat Bear Week.
Yeah, I love Fat Bear Week.
Everyone loves that.
There's Fat Marmot Week. I love looking at fat animals. They're adorable. The marmots,
the skinny ones are being discriminated against.
Well, I think I would be a chubby chaser here with the marmots. But how sad that, well, one, I was with you. I didn't know America had marmots.
Right. I mean, I've seen golden marmots in Central Asia.
Oh.
But
I just didn't know they were here. I thought they were in more exotic places. Alexandria Black on YouTube says marmots are also in the Swiss Alps. So really?
Yeah, I didn't know any of this stuff.
Well, I guess but why, Ted? I mean, so the Trump administration cut marmot research. Mm-hmm. Why do we need to learn about marmots? Why shouldn't the Trump administration cut their funding?
Honestly, okay, I'm going to go back to my
marmots.
Marmots are not, I don't think, intrinsically that important, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, they are cute. By the way, they're kind of like meerkats or what are those things called? Prairie dogs, right? Like,
yeah, I think they look more like a fat prairie dog.
Those kind of animals. They live in
Everbod.
They live in they dig these complicated burrows. They live underground. They pop up and they look around, and then they pop back down, right? That's the same exact kind of thing. Look, is marmot research as important as cancer research? No. But as long as we are sending $4 billion a year to Israel, marmot research stays.
Fair.
That's what I say.
I would say whatever the marmot people need. I mean, they had to turn to OnlyFans, Ted. You know you're desperate if you're turning to OnlyFans. So these scientists, I'm always in favor of the scientists, usually, unless you're Dr. Fauci, who says he is the science. But for the marmot scientists, I mean, these are the Dr. Reese types, right? Like that's who they are. They had to turn to friggin' OnlyFans because they can't fund their research. Like, that's really sad. Like, I mean, I know they're not technically, I guess, exploiting the marmots with anything risque. I hope not. I mean, I don't know what you would do to make the OnlyFans page risque for marmots, but
also, the thing is, we don't know. The thing about scientific research is you're researching things because you don't fucking know about them, so you don't know if it's important or not, right? So it's sort of like
you don't know what you don't know,
right? I mean, who knows? It might be that marmot blood carries something that could be a cure for some terrible human disease, right?
Maybe the adrenochrome in marmot blood is better than sacrificing children.
Marmots play an incredibly, a key role in like the ecosystem of the West, and if something happens to marmots, like everything else dies. I mean, we don't know, right? So it's like basically like kind of like, why not? We should be studying everything. And again, as long as we're sending fucking money to Israel, everything else, like I would not question anything else. Like literally, like, oh, we're funding like really stupid art installations. Fine. As long as you're still sending money to Israel, you can do that. Don't start cutting anything else. That's literally,
that's
if
fair.
you are sending $4 billion a year plus to Israel, then there's nothing else that should be cut.
I think we should do more research on wolverines and woolly mammoths.
Well, wolverines still exist.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Colossal Bioscience is bringing them back, remember?
Oh, that's true. Well, there is lots of research, I imagine, into woolly mammoths by the Russians because they have so many of them coming out of their
territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to admit, I like the idea of a Jurassic Park because that wasn't a failure of cloning; that was a failure of zoology, of zookeeping.
Yeah, but obviously, you remember from the movie, and I also read the book. that
book
like
is awesome.
the whole theory was that like, well, nature finds a way, right? Like, so you can't gatekeep them. If they want to get out, they will get out.
Yeah. So do you subscribe to chaos theory, Ted?
I guess I do. Yeah.
I do. It's law of unintended consequences.
Oh. Well, I guess at the risk of quoting Donald Rumsfeld, there are the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. I think a lot of
Although
people
he was quoting
don't
someone
know.
else, apparently,
Was
when he said that.
He made the quote famous. Oh,
Yeah, he
old
did.
Donnie. He and Lindsey Graham are probably dancing together in hell right now.
I would like to think so.
Yeah, I think so. But I guess because what do people actually know about marmots, right? I mean,
No one knows dick about
pictures.
marmots.
I don't know anything about them. I've just seen their pictures and I was like, oh, they're cute. They kind of look like a fat beaver, but without the tail. I don't know, like, but a part of me, the practical side of me is kind of like, do we need to fund marmot research? I don't know. But yeah, if you're going to allocate money to fighting like useless foreign wars like Iran.
Yeah. Come on, $1.5 trillion a year.
I know.
For
what's a couple $1,000,000 for the fucking marmots?
Look, let me just refresh everybody's memory about this, right? So Brazil, which has international borders the same size as the United States. Okay. So it has to defend itself. It's a good comp for us, right? Like, it's similar to us. Like, their defense challenges are similar. Actually, though, they actually have some neighbors they don't get along with, and they've had border skirmishes with. We don't. We get along with our neighbors. So actually, defending the U.S. is a lot easier than Brazil. It has a lot of countries bordering it, right? And it has very rough terrain to board too. That it has to for its border.
They got all the crazy animals too.
Pardon?
They got all the crazy animals there in the Amazon.
That's true. Those animals can come anytime and eat them all.
And we don't know all the animals in the Amazon.
That's true. There's a shit ton of and they have that giant spider that's like the size of a dinner plate and makes a web so big that it catches parrots and eats them. So yeah. So Brazil's got crazy shit. It's got piranhas and stuff.
Oh,
anyway, so the point is they only spend $20 billion a year on defense.
20 billion. Okay.
20 billion. And we spend, I guess next year it's going to be 1.2 trillion.
We're going into the trillions. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more than 50 times. Why are we spending more than 50 times with the Brazilians? The Brazilians are doing the same job with 1/50th of the money. We got to get the Brazilians in here to show us how it's done.
Well, you can also look at China and Russia, who combined are still spending less for their defense than
the U.S. I don't even compare with them though, because they have bigger borders than we do.
Yeah, well, you're looking at borders. I'm just looking at
I'm just thinking if you look at it as defense, just defending your territory, which is only thing that the Department of Defense ought to be doing.
No, it's the Department of War now, Ted. Petey Hegseth changed it.
Well, yeah, but officially it never changed, right?
So here's a question, Ted. Define our territory. Is Europe our territory?
No.
It's a protectorate. We protect it.
Fuck it. Leave them. Bye. You guys are on your own. They have nuclear. Come on, Europe. Europe has nuclear weapons, okay, and they have very powerful militaries. And they do not need us.
Okay, y'all heard it here. Ted Rall has adopted the Robbie doctrine.
Oh, always.
Fuck you all.
I just want to point out that forget the European schools. We know they have great universities that are discovering things at a much faster rate than we are here in the U.S. Like marmot studies. I'm sure whatever university in the Swiss Alps, they probably know more about the marmots than we do. Our marmot department is way behind, Ted. Way behind. Woefully behind.
Our marmotology is not rocking.
I'm sure the Russians and the Chinese, their marmot departments are all like way advanced, and we're trying to play catch up because the thing is with how much money they spend combined for their two countries, national security and defense, is like half of ours. And the two of them combined, right? I've never heard of Russian or Chinese universities or research programs wanting for anything. I've never heard of it.
No. They don't. Yeah, they're not whoring their marmots.
Yeah. So like
No, I mean
why?
they
Why
don't
are
have.
those
Yeah,
places not how come I don't hear of like Chinese or Russian scientists being like, please donate to our
no,
GoFundMe.
they
We
don't
want
have
to
to
study
because
this
they don't have
Ebola
to because they
virus
have
or
proper
whatever.
countries. They have proper countries. That's a national education and research is a national priority for countries, for real countries.
So they're
You
just
know?
again, it boils down to allocation of funds.
Yeah, it's a question of your priorities. I'm about to lose my Wi-Fi here, so
All right. We
go
are
ahead.
out. We are on time. Happy Thursday. You doing are you doing DMZ?
Tomorrow.
Oh, back to Friday again?
Friday.
Tell Stantis to get his days straight, man.
I know. I will.
All right. That's going to do it for us.
Yep.
Unless
No
Robbie's got one more thing.
Yeah. No Putin bot gaming. I just have too much production work to do today, so we'll get back
So
to it tomorrow.
we'll raid PBG another day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Adios amigos. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.